So, hello, and thank you for coming to the shed again. I've got two items to show you today. Here's the first item. I made it. It's a bake stone, and you can bake cakes on that. And in Wales, we use it to make little pancakes, which we call Welsh cakes. And I look at that bake stone, and yeah, it's worked well over many years, but there's lots of flaws in it, and well, it's pretty average, really. My second item is this magnificent chessboard. I attempted to make a chessboard, and I drew out the squares on a nice piece of wood, a bit like my shirt. And I was quite pleased with it, but then a visitor to our house said, did you make that? And I said, yeah. He says, not very good, is it? So he said, I'll make you a chess. This man was a master craftsman. He made this chessboard, and it's absolutely wonderful. Each piece is a separate inlaid piece of wood, and it's like marquetry, and it's lovely. It's really good. I'm so delighted with that. So two items. One, all right. The second one, brilliant. A masterpiece. Our verse for today is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. For we, that's you and I, Christians, people who've come to faith in Christ, for we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. And the word there is really, we are God's masterpiece. It's the same word as used in Romans chapter 1 verse 20, which refers to the fact that we are without excuse because the things that God has made are all around us. Creation, the physical creation of this world, is a masterpiece. I mean, the miracles of nature. No wonder God, at the end of each day, looked at what he had made and said, oh, it's good. It's really good. It's a masterpiece. That's God's physical creation. But when we come to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, we are talking about what God has done spiritually, his spiritual creation. If anyone comes to faith in Christ, they are a new creation. The old is gone, the new has come. And this word in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10 says, we are God's masterpiece. God looks at the work that he has done in Christ and in the life of every believer. He says, oh, it's good. It's really good. So I don't know how you feel this morning now, or feel today. Like if perhaps you feel a bit down, a bit gloomy. Well, listen to what God is saying. If you're a believer, do you know my verdict on what God has done, what I've done in your life? When I sit back and I look at what I've done for you in Christ and how you've responded in faith, do you know my verdict? A masterpiece. The other time this word is used is in when Paul visited Athens. And you know, when he went around Athens and he saw the idolatry and the superstition, he spoke to the people and he reminded them about the true God. And he reminded them, in the words of one of their poets, what their poets have said. And you can check it out in Acts chapter 17. And the thing is, well, I'll read the verse to you. Acts chapter 17, verse 28. Just to be sure, pardon me, 7 verse 28, for in him we live and move and have our being. As some of your own poets have said, we are his offspring. That's it. That's the same word. The word for poet. We are a work of art. We are his poetry. I'm not stretching it too far now. It's the same word. We are his workmanship. We are his expression of who he is. Oh, what a calling we've been brought into. Yeah, when I was thinking of this, right, when I was reading somebody's comments on this, Paul's Metaphors, the book was called, and this is one of the things he mentioned. And like, I thought of that song, remember? The song Poetry in Motion. I love, one of the lines of that song was, I love every movement. There's nothing I would change. There's no room for improvement. She's much too nice to rearrange. A wave upon the ocean couldn't move so gracefully. Oh no, let's come back now. Let's come back to Ephesians 2:10. We are God's work of art in Christ. There's nothing we can add to it. We can't rearrange anything. We just take it as God has brought it to us in Christ. Oh, may these thoughts just lift your spirits today and realize who you are in Christ. And, you know, when we realize that God's verdict is, it's good, I trust that we too will want to go on and to know him more and to be more in reality as we work these things out in our life, that we will be true representations of who he is. Oh, God bless you now today, and have a good day, and thanks for listening and meeting with me this morning. Thank you. Amen.